Hey, we're live. Welcome to the workshop number 273. This is a comedy safe space, so you guys can say whatever you want. I'm not going to tell your parents. Um, Jordan, you're up first. Let me know when you're ready to begin and what your topic is, and I will start your time.
Sure. Well, I'm ready now, and my topic is acclaimed film director M. Night Shyamalan. So, M. Night Shyamalan's film career took the exact same trajectory as Haley Joel Osment's physical appearance. Started off just fine, but as time went on, it became harder and harder to look at. I mean, it all started in 1999. Night Shyamalan gave us a movie that had us creeped out, unsettled, questioning everything we had just seen. And that movie was, say it with me, She's All That. Did you guys know that? And Mike Shyamalan helped write the script for She's All That. Like, he was uncredited, so nobody ever knew he was involved. Apparently, he didn't want people knowing he was involved in a film that defined a generation of millennials. I mean, who would be embarrassed by that? I mean, where was this brilliant strategy when he made The Village or After Earth or The Last Airbender? Like, it makes sense that he was involved, though, because She's All That seems to have an eerie curse on it. Like, everyone in that movie was a one-hit wonder. Like, you know, Rachel A. Cook never made another hit movie. Sixpence None the Richer never made another hit song. Like, even Paul Walker went on to make the same movie 8 times. I mean, okay, that's a bit unfair. It was 7.5. Now, yeah. Now, say whatever you want about She's All That, except that it's worth your time, obviously. But that movie was where Night Shyamalan learned to write his epic twists. I mean, in The Sixth Sense, we discover that he was dead this whole time. She's All That, we discover she was pretty this whole time. The same twist. Except the twist in Sixth Sense didn't objectify dead people. And now the twist in The Sixth Sense was awesome, but he really like painted himself into a corner with that. Like, he became the twist guy. And it clearly got harder and harder to keep coming up with him, because like in The Sixth Sense, it was he was one of the dead people this whole time, and then in The Village, it was they were Amish this whole time, and by the time we got to Split, it was you've been watching a sequel this whole time. Ooh. Like, I think that kind of twist would have been better suited for Signs. Like, I mean, picture it: Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix are at their farmhouse. The aliens are closing in. All hope is lost. And then all of a sudden, in marches John Travolta in his Battlefield Earth getup. You know, boom, plot twist. This whole time you were watching Battlefield Earth. You thought you were watching a bad movie, but it turns out you were watching a worse movie. Like, I mean, here's the thing with Signs. The big turning point is that God gave Mel Gibson a sign, and that sign allowed him to save his family from the aliens. But couldn't God have just stopped the aliens from coming in the first place? Like, am I getting this right? In order to get one priest to come back to the church, God staged a worldwide alien invasion. Like, seems like God went to a lot of trouble for one priest. Like Moses gets like a little burning bush, but Mel Gibson gets a planet-wide invasion. So just to get one priest to go back to priesting, like, so I guess it's really important to God that boys be molested. Like, I can't come up with any other takeaway. Now, if M. Night Shyamalan is watching this tonight, my advice would be put Bruce Willis in all of your movies. I'm the first person in history to ever say this, but Bruce Willis makes your movies good. You are David Spade. Bruce Willis is your Chris Farley, okay? Every project you've ever done without him sucks, okay? But the thing is, Bruce Willis isn't dead, so it's not too late for you to turn things around. Now, all that said, when Night Shyamalan made The Happening, he achieved the greatest feat in cinematic history. He got Mark Wahlberg to admit that he was in a bad movie. And that's all I got on Night Shyamalan.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
I hope you
Yes, sir.
enjoyed the Gordon Wilson roast of Night Shyamalan.
Oh yeah, I love a good movie roast anytime.
Yeah, I don't know if I've even seen all of those movies, so I don't know. She's All That. I'm definitely sure I didn't see that movie.
Yeah, me
Yeah, no,
neither.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that either.
Like a
So,
90s
Village-
rom
I
com. That's all I
on
remember.
the title because it like as soon as I heard the title, it's like, no, I am not seeing that. She's All That. Like, no, like what a awful title for an awful movie. So no, I didn't see that.
What if she
But
was
yeah, I
always
just looked
similar?
up-
Oh no,
Because the other one,
I
the
don't
other one,
like that guy, Freddie Prinze Jr.
yeah, because he was the main guy in that movie.
Yeah.
And the other one that Night Shyamalan ghost writ was Stuart Little, which came out the same year as Sixth Sense and She's All That. which
That
I
movie
thought-
was amazing. He's a genius.
Ah,
Yeah, I didn't
So-
see that one.
Yeah.
so yeah, he's a bit more versatile than we give him credit for, I guess. But
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
like sorry, just getting into some I like the fucking Paul Walker 7.5. Enjoyed that. I thought you could even tie it
Yeah, that was
into
good.
like add a Tiger Woods tag on there for the next little bit while that the Tiger Woods car wreck is hot.
yeah. I actually need to. I need to read up on that. Actually, like I've just
Yeah, he
seen. I haven't had a chance to read any of the stories, but
He messed his legs up or something. I had to get taken out with the jaws of life. It was
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, no, I heard it was bad. Okay, well, so I mean, and he wasn't healthy before, really. Like he was still having back problems. So
Damn, didn't you drop that again?
Tiger.
Yeah, I think top level black professional athletes need to stay away from vehicles. That's the solution now, I guess.
Make one.
Am I
Yeah,
Yeah, I
correct
think
there?
I watched it. Or I quit watching his movies after The Village.
yeah, like because I had a couple of things on The Village. Like I can't stand Adrian Brody in that movie. I just want to punch the movie screen. And so that was one thing is M. Night Shyamalan made me hate Adrian Brody. And I've never seen Adrian Brody. Actually, I did see him in the Darjeeling Unlimited, but and I didn't mind him in that. But like, I just hated Adrian Brody after seeing that movie because it was the only thing I saw him in. And he was just so annoying in it.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I loved M. Night Shyamalan until The Last Airbender came out. I think the twist to that was them not making a second one.
Well, because that's the other thing, and is like even his worst movies have all made money. Like I mean, After Earth made money. Last Airbender, they got raked over the coals. But like if you look them up on IMDb, like they all made money, like significant money.
Yeah, but I think 'cause everyone takes the angle where
Hey, Sister Lou.
Hello.
yeah,
I finally got it, you guys. Thank
We
you
can
so
hear
much.
cool.
Oh no. Uh-oh.
Oh yeah,
Uh-oh.
and Jordan, I like the thought process on the signs, kind of relating it to like, is God really like? I thought that was a strong point. You could lead into that really well, and you did.
Oh, thank you. Well, because that's the big flaw with God is with signs is that like okay, there's two sort of like there's both aliens and there's you got to have one or the other for it to make sense. It's like either there's aliens or there's God. Like I mean, there's two things. I mean, call
Why
it
couldn't there
magic,
be both?
call it religion, but like I mean, yeah.
Well, apparently the twist to that movie was supposed to be that they weren't aliens; they were actually demons.
Oh, well, oh really? Huh.
Yeah, apparently that's why the water stopped them because it was holy water.
Plot twist.
Damn.
But
I gotta rewatch that now. Just picture
Everyone-
King of
Mel
the
Gibson
Twist
jerking
has
off a kid.
twisted you again, Jordan.
Yeah,
Well, that's not enough to get me to rewatch it, but yeah, fair enough. That would make more sense if they were demons, but I think they just need to be more clear because we all thought they were aliens.
well, no, it apparently got changed. that was the original idea, but it got
Oh, okay. So that was the
Yeah,
original, and they changed it to
that was
Alien.
why.
They added to his demons, but whatever.
But I was thinking like, because everyone takes the angle of hating Shyamalan. What if, for the purposes of being, like, the purposes of a joke, you were like a fan of Shyamalan or something,
What if you brought Shyamalan into your
I
daily
feel
life?
like I like The Sixth Sense, and I liked Unbreakable.
Well, no, I'm
And
talking about your real opinions. I'm talking about like not those.
yeah, I mean, like I just sort of got a name, and I just thought, okay, this can be sort of maybe a chance to practice like sort of roast jokes a little bit and that sort of thing. Like, if I was gonna, roast a person, take it from that. Because yeah, like he is a target just because he made, so many, like, and he's kind of redeemed himself with his last couple. He's sort of back on track, but like he did like a lot of bad stuff for like a very long time, but was still kept getting chance after chance after chance. So that was sort of my initial thought, and and I just sort of took it from there.
Yeah, I wonder from like more of a comedic perspective, if you try to like bring it into your daily life. Like, I love M. Night Shyamalan. In fact, I like to live my life like his movies, and then you just kind of bring all these twists into like your daily life.
That was one thing I thought of, was like, oh, does he have twists in his regular life or something like that? That was one idea I had that I thought, but
here's a twist in his regular life. It says his middle name Knight was made up during college, so that's fucking weird. And then it also says he made on-screen appearances in several of his movies. So
I knew that. Yeah,
should have been looking. That's like a Silent Bob thing.
Yeah, like he was the
What's that guy's
doctor in
name?
Sixth Sense. And then I know in The Village, like you don't see his face, but when you finally find out that it's modern day, and the girl goes to get the medicine or whatever it was, and he's like the park ranger or something in the background who's talking to her. That's him. So like I did know that he sort of does it. He did, like Alfred Hitchcock is the other one. I think that's where he got it from, was Alfred Hitchcock, like just making a cameo and all of it.
Kevin Smith, apparently.
Kevin Smith, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah. Any more feedback, you guys, on the topic of M. Night Shyamalan? Okay, I guess.
Good job.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Mark, you're up.
Says that he's the highest paid screenwriter in Hollywood when Disney gave him $5 million to write Signs. I just found his IMDb page. So, all right, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Let's go.
Or we can just do more Shyamalan facts.
That's fine.
1 hour of M. Night Shyamalan facts.
To be honest, guys, I don't know how much of this is going to get into my act anyway, so I appreciate the feedback. But so what's the
Working
deal?
on the writing. Getting the reps in.
Yeah, Mark.
Exactly, it was an exercise. It's a good exercise.
Yeah, Mark, you're up next. Let me know what your topic is and when you're ready to begin, and I will start your time.
Okay, my topic is multiply. So yeah, begin. Multiplication. What a fun fucking topic. That's it's crazy. I think multiplication is like the dumbest fucking symbol there is in like math too. It's the word. Like, it's just an X. Like, that's it. It's an X. Like, what are you doing here? You're multiplying? Is it a variable? What the fuck? Like, it could be multiple things. And then somebody's like, oh, multiply X by X. And you're like, come on, man. What the fuck is that? It's off the and then try to enter that shit into an Excel spreadsheet. You can't even use X because X is a letter. You gotta use a little fucking star sign there. Fucking worst multiplication symbol ever. It's terrible for our fucking society too. Multiplication, right? We're fucking way overpopulated right now. Pandemic's kind of evening shit out, but everyone's like, let's fucking have babies while we're bored. We can't get away from multiplication, but we need to. It's incredible, man. It's crazy that the pandemic has actually lead to, more people fucking when you consider it was like started by China, the least likely people to get laid. We got to stop multiplication, and only way to do it, birth control. It's the only way, and I, like some people say, like girls should keep using the birth control. I don't really think, I think guys need to take a bullet on that one. Like just wrap up your dick, guys. Like I think that's it. Just wrap up the dicks. And don't be that guy who just like, oh, I can't feel anything with a condom. Like if anything, look on the bright side. You last a little longer, and maybe she has a chance to come. Shit, maybe she even has a chance to do it again. I don't know. And if you can't feel anything, they have condoms so fucking thin, man. The bearskin condom, fucking man, that shit's thinner than tissue paper. We're pretty much like one step away from a spray-on condom. Like we're there, we're almost there. And if you need a fucking, like, if you can't feel anything with one of those thin condoms on, like, you need to find a tighter pussy. That's the long and the short of it, okay? Like, pretty tough to feel much of anything when, like, her pussy's been taken more times in the on-ramp on, like, the 401. I realize only fucking Canadians get that one, probably. Yeah, let's not multiply anymore. But the condoms, we got to do it, man. To the girls, it has bad health effects. It does. Not only on their physical bodies, but like on their like mental bodies, like not just like physically, like obviously it damages their goods, like more than like a black guy's dick below, right? Or like 13 Asians, whatever, right? But it messes up with them mentally too. And we all know how rock solid women are mentally, just like every day of the month, they're just rock solid mentally, right? Man, and guys, it's easy. It's easy to get condoms, right? You just, where I'm from anyway, I don't know if it's the same everywhere. You just go to like one of those health clinics and they just give you free condoms. It's like trick or fucking treating, treats if they're flavored, tricks if she finds a pin and you come from money. It's, and they're free. They're free condoms, well, like almost free. They only charge you like a small, like tiny fee, like paid in pure shame. That's it. You just go in there. You go in there to get the condoms like you're going to a birthday party where you don't know anyone. You're kind of like, man, this is weird. And then the party ends and like she hands you a loot bag full of pecker protectors and you're like, okay, that wasn't that bad. Yeah. And then you think to yourself, like, hey, maybe she didn't judge me for getting condoms free at a health clinic, but she for sure fucking judged you, okay? Like 1,000% judged you. Like if it was a birthday party, she gave you the loot bag because she thought there was a candle mishap during the cake cutting and everybody at the party left with a burning sensation. Point is, just wrap up your gear. I used to know this guy on my hockey team, actually. He was so adamant about wearing a condom that if he didn't have one, he would actually go into the girls' cupboard and grab saran wrap, and he would wrap it around his dong. Like, that's not like he would tetherball that shit around his hog like he was wrapping up a peanut butter and fucking jelly sandwich. And, like, saying that out loud in my mid-30s, all I can think of, like, what a waste of saran wrap. But I think I'm about 5 minutes. So leave you with that tasty little lunch image in your head. So, please, guys.
Hey. Do you guys have any feedback?
I mean,
I
nice
like
pivot
the gift bag.
from multiply to condoms and that sort of thing. That's good. So for the first bit where you're in math, like I like the idea of like, the X is a bad sign for multiply because X is used in algebra and this sort of stuff. One other punch or tag or whatever you could say is, and then after math class, I would go into history class and I was calling him Malcolm Multiply. I looked like an idiot, something like that. For the one on the joke you said, about the Chinese people being the least likely people to get laid. You could say, you could tag it with something like, yeah, there's a billion of them in China, but that's because that's the only choice they have over there. If they had other choices, then they wouldn't even get laid in China. Maybe, I don't know, something like that. The Saran Wrap bit, I've actually kind of heard that before, but if you want to explore it more, like, when you talk about your buddy wrapping his dong in Saran Wrap, there's a lunch meat joke in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right in the bag. I hear you.
So that's what I got. But yeah, no,
I always thought it would be funny to like break out the Saran Wrap when you're going down on a girl and just cover her vagina so that you don't have to have it in your mouth. Like we're just like we're being safe. That's like a condom with a blowjob with a condom on.
I don't get that.
Evolution. I think like I watched some things about evolution, and it said that only like the point of evolution is so that the strongest member they evolve to fit within the society that they are living in. So like in America, we have fast food and we have fat people. So like the people that are like the top of the evolutionary chain right now are the fat people who are living off of the government because they found a way to survive, multiply, and still continue to be able to feed themselves. Whereas like a rich person, they lose their money and then they don't have anything. They don't have any kids.
And I'm not fat or rich or anything, so that explains why I don't have kids. Why I haven't multiplied.
Yeah, no, maybe you're smart. Maybe. Just
Yeah, but you're also not American.
typically guys with bald heads. Guys with balder heads are kind of smart.
Smart adjacent. Yeah, I'm the least bald out of the three white guys here, so that means I'm the dumbest.
No, but
track.
Who said it? We
I'm
did.
the least bald out of everybody. I need to visit more nuclear sites. Multiply. I was thinking of like when you're saying the Saran Wrap, like how you have like multiply toilet paper. Like 2-ply.
Layer that shit.
Let me see.
We're poor.
What
We
they
only
had
know
that
about
with
one ply.
condoms. They had like double. Like instead of trying to make them thinner, they were like, let's make them thicker. We got double industrial strength condoms.
It's like the reverse of multiply.
Yeah.
It's got stents like built into it so that like you never go soft or anything like that. There's like stents inside the condom so that when you unroll it, it's stiff. It stays there. I'm not even having sex with you anymore. That's just the condom.
Just like a rigid, like a parking garage. It's always up there.
What I mean is, like, when people are like, "Oh, maybe
Structure.
condoms with that girl," it'd be insulting to put on 2 condoms in front of her. So what if you just have one super thick one? Like if she's really like, you're like, I don't want the first one to break or slip off. I don't even want to risk it. Just have a double thick one because she's gonna be like, why are you putting on a second condom? You're gonna be like, like you always put on a
I
second
don't think
condom?
you're supposed to put on a second condom.
No, I'm saying if someone's like
Rubber and rubber.
Yeah, they said the more.
Yeah,
the
but
more
you still don't do that.
No,
It's going to
Yeah,
cause
exactly.
friction. They rub against each other and break.
no, but you've never had your.
Now you have a
like,
baby
how
with a
many
fat
babies-
girl.
What?
Okay, all this has just given me $1
You have a
million
baby.
idea. I can't believe nobody's thought of this yet. But what about a condom with like an extra 2 or 3 inches in the end? So it's like it's an extension of you
That's
built inside the condom. So
Yeah, like in the baseball when they like cork their bat.
because you're jizzing into an actual structure, so it's not going to break, it's not going to leak, and plus you get an extra couple inches. And if if you turn your back to her when you put the condom on for the first time, she thinks you're bigger than you actually are. All that stuff, man. You can buy them in 2-inch and 3-inch and 5-inch and however much bigger you want to get.
Yeah. How much do you need?
Okay, I'm going to leave this mic and go patent that right now. No.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. What's your sleepover number?
So you guys have never heard the expression, "You better wear 2 condoms."
I've heard of it.
Yes, we have.
Okay. I was just trying to. All right.
You better double bag it. Double bag it.
Yeah. Double bag it with that one.
Do it. I'm just
Is that McConaughey?
Oh man, multiply. Yeah, like
Excel, the Excel sheet that was good because that's true. I mean, we've all did Excel sheets.
yeah. I feel like the thing about it is China.
Good.
I was saying
We didn't catch that. We just saw this, but we didn't hear what you said.
I'm so confused. What's going on? Okay, so I feel like the thing about when you said something about China, since they've got the most people, I was thinking that that'd probably be an easy multiplication joke in there. You know, like, oh, I heard they were good at multiplication, something. But, kind of,
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
go
that's
down
good.
the road.
Yeah, the math connection.
Instead of shitting on it, the next thing you know, Chinese guy's gonna steal your family. So like, oh, he doesn't think we have game. Any more feedback on multiplication, guys?
I'm good.
I just wrote the M Night channel on Twist, where you went from multiplication to multiplying. Is the same thing. Jordan said it earlier. I was just trying to call back.
Multiplying. God damn it. Well,
Thanks,
there's
guys.
no one else. Jeremy, you're up next, right? Yeah. Let me know when you're
Who's
ready to begin.
me? Yeah,
Topic
sure.
is-
My topic is restaurants. So, like, a restaurant is a place where people pay to sit and eat meals that are cooked and served on the premises. So remember that for a later bit that I have. My favorite food is food that I do not have to make. So I love going to restaurants for 3 reasons: no cooking, no cleaning, and there's always free gum under the table when you're finished. Like, of course, when you go out to a restaurant, or even when you're just eating at home with your family, you have to have table manners. So my mom taught me these table manners when I was growing up. She said, if you can't speak nice at the dinner table, then you don't deserve to eat. So we haven't seen my father since. You guys maybe not know about this, but here in Asia, they use a lot of something called fish sauce or fish oil for cooking, and it smells like so bad. Like when it's in the pan and it's cooking, it smells like if a fish had feet. It would, but not like just any type of feet. Like if the fish had feet and the fish had to put on work boots every day to go to work, and like he worked in like a wet area, so when he come home and he took off his fish boots, there was like the fish sweat. That's what fish oil smells like. But fish oil is made by like wringing out the oil of the fish. It's pretty much the same way they make baby oil. So I couldn't really write anything, so I played this game, Sex with Me. So Sex with Me is like McDonald's. You could catch a disease in the ball pit. Sex with Me is like McDonald's. I can scramble your eggs in a few different ways. And then Sex with Me is like McDonald's. I like it plain with no condiments. That's a callback to you, Mark. Nowadays, they have no smoking section. And it was weird. Like, I mean, I don't know about segregation, but I mean, I used to have to sit in the non-smoking area. If that's something you guys want to feel sorry for me. But you notice whenever you're at the restaurant, nobody's ever complaining that the salt and the pepper are kept in separate jars, but here's separation. I went to this restaurant here in Vietnam. They have a Korean barbecue. So like it's like a little grill in the middle of the table, and they bring out these frozen meats, and like you got to cook it yourself, and you got to, do everything. And the wait staff wasn't doing anything but bringing stuff to our table. We had to prepare everything. So after that, I put on Korean barbecue chef onto my resume. But yeah, who the fuck wants to go out and cook their own food? And then this one's dumb. Waiter, there's a fly in my soup. And the waiter comes and he says, yes, and it seems to be attached to your pants. That's a fly joke. And then, yeah, that's all I got.
Yay.
Hey, just while I got it in my head at the end there, I just thought you could say it's like you could use a spoon instead of your dick, or something like your dick's in the soup, or when your fly was in the soup, your dick has to be in the soup at that point.
I liked your opener with the gum. That was a fun joke. I liked your
because I don't have to make it.
I liked your joke about the table manners, and so that's why Dad left. I thought maybe you could say something like, oh, so that's why he left manners, not and then something self-deprecating, not me playing with dolls, or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
Make it personal, make it yours. And I like the fish oil baby joke, the fish oil baby oil joke. That was a good one. I like that one.
That was good. I just thought of another.
Yeah, I wrote that before. I don't know if it's. I just had to fill time with that one.
Yeah, it works.
Maybe an add-on to that gum one, because it was really, I liked it as well. I thought it was a really strong joke. And you could say something like, because you chewing the gum after, but you could say, but like, I'm a good person. Okay. I always pay it forward. 3 chews and you put it back. I don't know. Maybe it's funny. Maybe it's not.
Oh,
yeah.
I think that fish oil joke with the feet thing. I feel like you could go down a rabbit hole with that story. Like have a whole work day just to fish with feet. Just like you rides the bus and you can tell a story and then just go back to the punchline.
And then you get the fish coming home. You get the fish coming home with his stinky feet. He takes it off, and his wife, what does he have for him? Fucking cooking with fish oil. And he's so fucking sick of fish oil. Just a loop back into itself.
Yeah, okay.
I like the sex with me exercise. I'd never heard of that one before. Just like a joke writing exercise. Sex with me is like blank. I never thought that's just a good one. I'll try that. This is a way to kind of.
We play it in this in this Tokyo. Yeah, we played in this Tokyo mic that I do at the end, and so sex with me is like a book. You're gonna need a good imagination to get to the end. So, or you could say, I like my women like I like my books, thick with a hardcover or something, but you try to relate it, and each time they choose a different noun. So it's always come up with some good jokes out of that.
Oh, cool.
Or some good comparisons, that you could use for a joke.
Yeah. Sex with me is like a McDonald's hamburger because it costs $1.35.
You whore, you.
Exactly.
My God. Any more feedback on restaurants? Juicy topic. Thank you.
That's all I got.
I had some stuff that I was I remember I got chips and salsa at Chili's or something one time, and I noticed that there was a chip that already had some salsa in the basket, And I was like, ooh, that must be from some other table. Like, how'd it get back into the basket? So we just like eat the chips around it. And then they were like, can we get some more chips? And then like she brings the basket back and that chip is like right on the top again. Like, eat this fucking chip. It's like, oh, this is my favorite restaurant.
Yeah, we're getting rid of the secondhand chip if it kills us. Well, like, because I've heard stuff about like Chuck E. Cheese recycling pizzas and stuff like that. So, you know.
Wait, really?
Oh yeah, like sort of reusing. You know, like, I mean, so if like there's two birthday parties and they both eat half a pizza, they take it back to the kitchen, put the two pizzas together, and then serve it out to the next family or whatever, or like recycling uneaten fries and you know.
Oh, dude, they're
I
making
mean,
Franken pizzas.
yeah.
Jeez.
But I've seen that happen here in Vietnam too. They sell like soup and like people just set up a little soup stall on the corner with some plastic tables and chairs and shit. And so like you sit there and have your soup and the lady's cleaning the dishes beside you at the little small table and she's like picking through and taking the chunks of meat that somebody didn't eat and putting them into a thing and saving them to put them back into the food.
At least you know the heat's gonna kill all the germs.
I hope so.
Yeah, hoping on it.
Oh God. Well, any more feedback on the restaurants? All right, I guess it's my turn then. Yay. My topic is rehab. Here we go. Rehab. I think that rehab, is a cool idea. People are addicted to things, and you want to try to win them off of it by prying them off of it, or like by distracting them. But do people ever go to rehab for things that aren't bad, but they just want to not do? I don't know. Like someone. What if someone's like, I'm breathing too much? Like I want to breathe, but I don't want to breathe too much, because people can hear me. It's embarrassing. So I need to go to rehab. And you get to rehab, and you guys meet up at like a beach or something, and then they hold you under for about 10 minutes, and then that's that. They're like, hey, you're cured. You'll never breathe too much again. You did it. Or like there's a rehab where you're like, I really want to learn how to fly a plane, but I don't want to learn how to fly a plane. I want to not want to learn how to not want to want. Ugh, you know what I mean. Anyway, so they take you to a plane, and then they teach you how to fly the plane, and that's the rehab for that. Let me see more rehab ideas. Yeah, I guess most people go to rehab for probably like drinking or drugs.
Heroin.
Drinking. I find it weird that we differentiate the two. Like drinking, everything is a drug, right? Anyway, but yeah, I've always thought about going there because I am a pretty bad alcoholic sometimes. But I'm always worried that if I go to rehab for drinking, I'm not gonna want to drink anything. Like water. Nope. Drinking water leads to drinking. I don't even want to breathe in water. I'm gonna get a dehumidifier for my room, and I'm gonna like try to suck all that water out of the air, so I'm not even drinking. Because I don't want to accidentally inhale some booze, So if you get one of those, I'm gonna try out. And I'm gonna be like jerky, and that's good because I really like jerky. Jerky's amazing. What else? Rehab. No, that's about it. That's all I got. You guys have any feedback?
What kind of jerky would you be? Would you be spicy jerky or?
Probably teriyaki.
Well, no, but I mean, teriyaki flavored, or what type of flavoring you got in there? Worcestershire sauce. What do you? Sweet and sour.
I think I'm a teriyaki jerky person.
Teriyaki.
Watermelon
Do I seem like a
flavored.
teriyaki person? I might be being kind of douchey with that statement.
No, I like the teriyaki jerky. I enjoy that. It's probably my go-to too.
Any feedback, you guys?
Yeah, like I thought you actually touched on a couple things at the beginning there. Like one idea I thought of, rehab for things that are annoying. Like I mean, things that piss people off. People need to go to rehab to stop doing some of those annoying things. Like that could be something there. When you said the plane thing about learning to fly plane, I thought, what about rehab for ambition? I want to stop feeling so ambitious. I want to stop learning things. I need to go to rehab just so I won't desire to better myself anymore.
Yeah, just take you to a
Ambition
dispensary.
disappoints you. You could say something like you get the same crash after, when a drug wears off is when you don't fulfill your ambition or something like that. So I actually think there's a lot to explore there, like for rehab for things that aren't drugs and alcohol, like annoying stuff, ambition, anything else you can think of. I think there could be something there.
This would go with ambition. Like your mom says, when are you going to have children? And you're like, Mom, I don't think I want to have children. And then like in the middle of the night, some dudes come into your house with put a bag over your head and escort you into a van to like this rehabilitation camp where you want to have children now.
They got you in a cage and like outside they're not feeding you, and then outside the cage they got kids with steaks. You got to convince them to give you the steak.
If you eat a steak, you get a kid. You get a free kid.
I thought you didn't want kids around you. I don't know. I killed it. Any more feedback, you guys?
I like when you're talking about like I breathe too much. I don't know. I just like pictured like those situations in like scary movies where like somebody's hiding and they're trying not to breathe heavy, and you're like I just get into those like way too often. Like I'm in a quiet place all the entire life. Like when my father-in-law asked me what I'm doing with the rest of my life, he could hear me under the table.
I think you did say something too, like, and I don't think you meant to say this. You might not have noticed, but you at one point you said, I'm an alcoholic sometimes," and I just thought that was a funny thing to say. Like, you can't sometimes be an alcoholic. You're so there could be something to play with there. But I just thought that was a funny thing to sort of say. Yeah, I can be an alcoholic sometimes. Well, no, you can't.
Before and after rehab, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes. But yeah, I get what you mean. It's funny. Any more feedback?
And I really thought it was good about the you're like I'm not drinking anything anymore, like ever again, because like that's a gateway drug to drinking alcohol. I mean, very good.
Yeah.
Okay. This next part is where if you have any actual premises you want to work on or bits, or if you want to say the N-word, this is where you do that. Gotcha. Yeah. Jordan, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin.
Okay. Like, has anybody ever taken you up on that though? Like, has anybody? Oh, I could say, well, all right.
Well, these aren't diverse enough.
It's a test.
Okay.
I'm just curious because like you just really want someone to say the N-word, man. Like it won't be me, not today. All right, so no, I'm ready to go here. So I recently discovered that I've been gaslighting myself. I was gonna stop, but then I realized that it never happened, and I was wrong for ever feeling that way. My brother asked me, like, why do you do this to yourself? And I said, because bullying feels really good, even if you're also the victim. Like there's a part of me that just won't allow me to be confident. Like occasionally my confidence does come out, but as soon as it is out, it looks for ways to violate its parole, get sent back to the joint. Like my self-esteem is used to life on the inside. It's what it understands. Like it gets scared if you give it too much freedom. So I undermine my own confidence just out of necessity. I'd rather have my confidence be confined than have it scratch Brooks with hero all over the wall. Like I recently learned that I have something called rejection sensitivity. Like I'm so sensitive to rejection that I'm on constant alert for any sign that I'm about to be rejected. I go into more detail, but you'd all just make fun of me. Like my life is a never-ending Uber ride. Like everything I say could affect my rating. My sister, she said to me, Jordan, don't kid yourself. You have so much to offer. Like, I mean, she had more faith in me than I had in myself. And as soon as she said that, I lost all respect for her. Like, you believe in me? Like, what else do you believe? Like, what else do you believe in? Unicorns? The COVID vaccine? Like the Patriots without Tom Brady? I mean, like, I thought less of her for not doubting me more. Because here's the thing, like, I think everyone should feel a little bit bad about themselves. Like, it's worked wonders for me. Like, not in terms of success or relationships or overall happiness with my life or who I am, but it's prevented me from being that asshole who blocks escalators or films things in portrait mode. Like, I mean, the big catchphrase these days is "I am enough." I think a healthier attitude would be "I'm almost enough." Like, because inadequacy, when taken responsibly, is an amazing motivator. Like, it's like, ooh, if I give this pregnant lady my seat on the bus, I'll feel adequate for like 10 minutes. And suddenly you're holding doors for people. You're letting people get off elevators. You're winning Grammys and divorcing Kim Kardashian. And that's all I got because I'm still working on that. So whatever you guys have, I will gladly welcome.
Job.
Okay, sweet. Awesome. You guys have any feedback?
All right, I'll be straight up. I didn't know what gaslight meant, and that confused the shit out of me. I would explain it first. I know the term. I've heard it before. I kind of know what it means, but it didn't dial right away. So
yeah, and that's one thing.
Others like my idiocy.
I mean, essentially, what gaslighting is when you basically manipulate somebody by making them question their own memory, their own perception. So, like, so it's a lot of saying, "Oh, that never happened." No, you read that wrong. So, like, for someone who knows the definition of gaslighting, like exactly what it is, it's a great joke. But like you say, I'm not sure if enough people,
Maybe
know what gaslighting is for it to hit.
Because it's very straightforward. And it's got 2 M's. Nice alliteration.
Sorry? I missed that. Say that again.
I just said maybe mental manipulation would just be more streamlined, just in case that would really direct the point. And you got a little alliteration to boot.
Okay. All right. So, yeah. Okay.
And I love the part where you were talking about you like get rejected like too soon and stuff like that. Or like almost before you're getting rejected. And I thought of a tag you could say like, yeah, I get rejected like before it happens. I'm a premature rejeculator.
Nice. Okay.
That's somewhere.
I think the not believing in you thing. I mean, well, the like, oh, you believe in me. I feel like that could also be a good opening to go down some like conspiracy theory thing. Like what else do you believe in? And just like go from there. That's what I would do if I were you writing that joke. Any more feedback?
And I didn't hear clearly because of my third world internet. It's not very good right now. But I can listen to it again and I'll send it to you in a message if I find something.
Sure.
Oh, man. Gaslighting.
It's basically what politicians do.
Well, it's
Yeah.
exactly what Trump did to the Republican Party. Like that's exactly what he did. Because he just sort of made it think, there's all these big problems and you guys don't see it, but trust me, I see it and I know. And so, yeah, gaslighting is basically getting somebty to trust you
I'm
to
gonna
think
fix
that.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, like
I think
yeah,
gaslighting is just being good at talking, right? Just being so good at talking. that you
gaslighting
can
means
convince someone.
charming. It means you got charisma.
Oh.
Yeah, that might be something. It didn't work because I don't even have the charisma to gaslight myself.
Gaslighting. Any more
Yeah,
feedback,
no, I
you
think you're
guys?
right. I gotta find a way to slip the definition in there somewhere so more people get the joke. So it's either a longer bit or it's
I'm sure most people will get it. You might get a few outliers like me, potentially.
Well, yeah. Like I mean, because no, I think most people are right where you are. Like, okay, like I've heard of it. Like I have a general idea of it, but so it's like, okay, that joke's probably funny, but I just don't know why. It's one of those kind of things. So
Yeah, it just kind of doesn't hit the same. We don't have a septum piercing.
But it's like the people who do get the joke are gaslighting the people who don't get the joke into laughing. You guys are dumb. You should be laughing right now. I get the joke now.
Or you can even do that, like as you do a couple lines in and be like, I know if you don't know what the fuck gaslighting is means and you pretending to know. You can even try that angle and just play with the crowd.
It could be an interesting saver too, like if it doesn't get a laugh. But again,
Yeah, but if you define it, you could also define it literally, instead of using it in the term in the way that everyone else is using it. You could be like, oh, it's what they did before electricity. Like it's what they use or something.
One of those old-timey lanterns that people used in the olden days. Like gas.
Yeah, the lamplighter who went around the city and lit the lamps at nighttime every night.
Or
The term
another term for arsonist.
Well, like the term gaslighting, it actually came from like a movie in the 1930s where that's what the villain does to the hero is that he like spends the whole movie manipulating her and getting her to not trust her own thoughts and her own her own two eyes kind of thing, and getting him to do
It's
trusting
basically
him for her. And so the movie was called Gaslight. And so that's where the term came from.
it's basically a relationship, like a relationship where the man is in charge.
Yeah, like it could be a relationship thing. It can be work. It can be in friendships. It can be mother son, father daughter, all that. Any relationship it can happen. Yeah, but
Interesting. You guys have any more feedback on that set? Okay, I guess we can move on then. Mark, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin, and I'll start your time.
All right. Yeah, I'm good anytime. So anybody, well, I actually wrote this poem. I don't know if you're into poems. I'm not. I just wrote it. It's this is how it goes. It's McDonald's, you are my whore lover. Yeah, that's it. I'm not very good at poems. But like anytime I sneak like in a McDonald's treat, I feel like I'm cheating on, like vegetables, like McDonald's is my side chick that I always eat out, like any of you guys like have a go-to meal at McDonald's? Like what about you, Jordan? What's your like go-to, like Big Mac side nuggets? Did I get it? No?
no, not quite. I like the McChicken.
Pretty close.
And
Oh yeah.
I mix it up a little bit. I do the occasional Big Mac, and you know what I liked? I liked the Arch Deluxe back in the day. And they took it away. And then they brought on the Big and Tasty, and I got into that, and they took that away. So McDonald's just takes away everything I love.
Man, you know, like the fact how detailed you got into like your go-tos at McDonald's, that means I can trust you. Okay? I even fucking saw Jeremy. You're like, I want to tell mine. I want to tell, like, fucking, I can trust all you guys because you have a go-to at McDonald's. I can trust that probably you've all, you know, secretly eaten McDonald's alone in a parking lot like a fucking serial killer. Okay, just me. Okay, my bad. Overstepped. You know, I don't know. I've done that. Is that like, have you guys ever done that? No?
I don't have any shame in eating it, so no, I haven't.
Oh man, I don't know what it is about. Like, I just like, you know, like I just couldn't bear the thought of like my family watching me eat it. So, you know, like I sit in this parking lot alone, just shoveling like a greasy Big Mac into my skull, like a hungry hippo on crack. You know, just catch a glimpse in the mirror, my disgusting self, just like my whole 600-pound life flashes before my eyes. It's just like, this is how it starts, Mark. You know, it's like seeing the ghost of Christmas fat right in the mirror, just staring back at you. You know, special sauce running down my face like a lady's mascara after a one-night stand. Just shame. But the point is that I can trust you, and now you can trust me. You know who I can't trust? Kale eating motherfuckers, okay? Or your fake food people. Like, how can I trust you when I can't even trust that your wings are made from meat? Okay, I can't. Cauliflower wings are not fucking real, man. That's just a cauliflower dipped in sauce. I think a McNugget is more chicken than a cauliflower wing, and that's not saying much. You know, they're just fucking chicken mulch at the end of the day, you know? But then I end that shit like any good fling, you know? As I fling that greasy brown paper bag into the dumpster like I'm disposing of a fucking body. You know, but it's like cheating too, because, you know, I always get caught. You know, like I'll go home after mowing down, and then I'll just like see the salad in the fridge looking at me, like judging me. You know, the salad's just like, where were you? I'm just like, baby, I was just out. And it's like, I could smell her on your breath, Mark. It's like, baby, come on. I had a coupon. What do you want from me? Oh, I'm not cheap enough for you now. Just like, baby, she meant nothing. Those were empty calories. Empty calories. You know, if you still think McDonald's isn't like cheating, Ashley Madison isn't the only one with a monopoly on the game. Okay? End of the day, you're left with those golden arch nemesis. And I'll be honest, the whole McDonald's thing hits very close to home for me because I used to be a fat kid. I used to be, you know, but now I've tricked myself with motivation to not overindulge. And that motivation goes by the name of me wanting to be able to see my dick. That's it. That's the entire motivation, you know? Like, let's just say when it comes to being able to see my dick, like there isn't a lot of wiggle room, you know, here in the stomach, which ironically leads to a lot of wiggle room in other places. Let's just say I don't need magnums. You know, it doesn't take much for my gut to eclipse my dong, okay? It doesn't. Like, if I put on 10 pounds, I'm already, like, putting up posters like I lost a dog, you know? The description just reads, like, last seen on Big Mac Mondays wearing a turtleneck. Okay, I'm not Jewish, you know? Answers to the name General Pettywanker, reward if found, 1 free McDonald's cheeseburger, you know? And if I put on... Yeah, that's just like 10 pounds. If I put on like 20 pounds, like I need to pierce my knob and get a metal detector, like beep, 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 beep. Like, where'd you go, man? You know, I put on 30 pounds and I have to call in a basic white bitch on Instagram because I really need to find myself. Yeah, that's all I got. Some good old McDonald's and dick jokes.
You guys have any feedback?
I didn't hear much again, but I did hear the part about I like the sauce dripping down your chin like mascara.
I might actually reverse the order that like I might start with the fat stuff and then go into the McDonald's because I think that would just give the McDonald's bit much more context because when you're talking about, you know, shame behind eating McDonald's, I was kind of sitting there like, what's the big deal? Like, You know, like, because I'm not ashamed when I eat at McDonald's, but then when you got into fat stuff, it's like, oh, okay, you used to be fat, so that's where it comes from. So I think I would start with the former fat kid stuff and then go into the McDonald's. Here's just a couple thoughts that came to me is so for the McDonald's, because one sort of half-baked joke I have is, you know, the problem with spending your Sunday at the mall is now you're one of those people who spends your Sunday at the mall, and you could probably take that and translate it to McDonald's, because you could talk about the fat, sweaty people that you see at McDonald's, and it's like, well, I'm no better than you. Like, we're the same because we're eating at the same place right now. So, like, the problem with eating at McDonald's is you're one of those people who eat at McDonald's. And maybe you can do something with that. I don't know. With the cauliflower wings, I thought, you know, what's the point of cauliflower wings? I mean, cauliflower wings are just cauliflower with all the health taken out. I mean, like, you can't convince me that cauliflower wings are actually healthy for you. So yeah, I mean, what's the point? Maybe there's something there. And then when you were talking about sort of, you know, talking to the salad and that sort of stuff, I just got the idea that of like the salad is really sort of, you know, holier than thou, just very judgmental, and you know, so like you know, salad's kind of a snob, and you know, if you wanted to take another angle at it, you could say, you know, salad, you know, you're lucky anybody even wants you. Like nobody likes eating you. Like you actually
will toss you out this restaurant.
Like, you know, so yeah, like it could really evolve into a whole argument there. Like, you know, yeah, like salad really needs to be knocked down a couple pegs.
Fair enough. Battle back to that bitch salad. I see.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
So yeah, that's what I
like,
got.
like
yeah, like I think there's plenty there,
salad.
obviously, because I was getting ideas as you were saying that stuff. So I definitely think there's, you know, lots there.
Cool.
I really like that line about getting your dick pierced and using the metal detector to find it. That's hilarious. I'm thinking, like, as far as fast food goes, like, at what point do you stop being ashamed to be seen eating it? Like, what's the like, you go to Burger King, is that like as bad, or I don't know? What if you guys have big?
I don't know.
Like,
what would be
like,
the rock bottom of eating fast food burgers?
McDonald's, the sign used to say like hundreds of millions served or millions served or whatever. It says like millions served and Mark. Like Mark's just here every fucking meal, like eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner at McDonald's. He's like a staple.
That's what the M's for, man.
Yeah. What if the reason their shit is so unhealthy is that they're trying to fatten us up like the Twilight Zone episode?
Well, eventually maybe we'll become the meat of the McDonald's. Like, was that Soylent Green or whatever?
Yeah, but like, you know, the million serve sign, instead of it's like 2 serve 10 million men or something.
Yeah. Wait, what are those voting numbers? Like, you can't count dead people.
Yeah, like for everyone killed by McDonald's, subtract 1 person.
On a somewhat unrelated note, have you ever seen the movie The Founder?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, that's an interesting movie.
Ray Kroc.
That's about McDonald's, right?
Yeah, it's about the beginning of McDonald's and like Ray Kroc, the guy who kind of made McDonald's what it is today.
Yeah, but he stole it he bought it from the McDonald's family or something like that.
He essentially did, yeah, because it was started by 2 brothers, and then this Ray Kroc guy came in and kind of, we're gonna do this, and got him on board, and then and in the end he takes their name from them.
The American Dream.
The book Rich Dad Poor Dad talks a lot about that, and or not a lot about like the beginning transaction, but I guess when Ray Kroc took over, he said it's more of like owning prime real estate. Like if you look where the McDonald's is, he owns like a prime piece of real estate in every city, and that's his main thing, was like just buying up property. The restaurant is not even like he just breaks even on those, but like he owns all these different properties.
Well, yeah, and that's a big turning point in the movie too. That plays a big role for sure, and that's how he gets the power, because the real estate company they started up, he just started up on his own without involving the brothers at all or even letting them know about it, and so that's how he got like sort of his leverage and all that sort of stuff. That's how he was able to take it away from them, is by just having that for himself.
Is there a way to craft this into a joke?
It's a 2-hour movie, so I mean that's a
Yeah, I
real.
could probably
that's a real
watch it
setup for
with my
fun times
review.
there. I guess an angle is, yeah, like a restaurant that, or a franchise that was started by a scoundrel would attract other scoundrels to eat there, maybe something along those lines.
Yeah, but I was thinking about something like you need a car because that's the only way you can. You'll never have to be seen walking into a McDonald's.
Yeah, that's what the drive-through is for all the people who are ashamed. They can make a quick getaway.
Yeah, like it. Because otherwise you gotta walk in because they don't let you walk up to the drive-through.
I'm guessing McDonald's was the first restaurant to do
Pretty
drive-through.
big piece of shit. Like if you're ordering McDonald's to your house, and like nobody likes cold fries, but every time I order McDonald's to my house, I get cold fries. So you got to be a piece of shit to eat cold fries. I just put barbecue sauce on them, and they're still good. That's me identifying with you guys as a piece of shit.
We can trust you. Trust.
You trust me, Mark. You trust me.
I trust that we're all not winning anything more than a free cheeseburger on Monopoly.
Yeah,
I used to deliver the newspapers when I was a kid, and anytime that Monopoly game came around, we stole all the pieces out. And like people would call me and they're like, "Hey, I didn't get my Monopoly game." I'm like, "Oh, I looked in the extra papers. There was none in there either. So I'm so sorry. It must be next week."
Yeah. What
I got paid like
game?
I got paid $11 to deliver the newspapers 4 times. So fuck you guys. I waited that one time a year, and I made my extra fucking cash back. I got like free burgers and like free ice creams, and I never filled up any like solid property ownerships because I'm white and poor, and they just knew I couldn't handle that shit.
Well, no, they said it was rigged, like at the top level.
Oh yeah,
shit.
there was a whole
Yeah, there's
documentary.
a movie coming out about, or maybe it's already out, but yeah.
Yeah, there was an
I
HBO
know.
McMillions, and it was interesting because it goes into like the deep, like Italian mafia were like making fake pieces, or no, they were stealing the pieces, and it was a whole fucking thing, and they were making certain people win to make it look like a, part of the thing, and then taking all this money from the people.
When I was 11 or 12 years old, we went to Burger King, and they had like some Walt Disney World game going on, and you just had to scratch 2 of 6 places on the card. If they matched, you won. And I won a trip to Disney World. It was worth like $5,000.
That is awesome.
That's unreal.
I knew a kid in the 8th grade. He was at a movie theater and got a pull tab off of the drink, and he won a trip to games 1 and 2 of the 93 World Series. So he got a trip to Toronto. He ended up going to Toronto to see game 1 and 2 of the World Series. Just an instant win off of a movie cup.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah, that sucks though, because like you got your 15 minutes of fame, and you were 12 years old, and you couldn't even fuck yet.
I mean, if you were Catholic, never mind.
I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Boy.
All right, let me do my jokes while Mark's gone.
All right, go ahead if you want, or you can wait. Talk more about
I'll wait.
Yeah, but they say because like not all those are rigged, but like that one specific one, I remember them mentioning it being like rigged at the top levels. Where there's like the cash prize and shit, because they were giving them to like their friends or something.
Well, they do like a lottery thing here, and like the poor people will sell lottery tickets. They'll just be walking down the street, and they'll like sell lottery tickets to anybody who's standing outside. and or try to anyways. And it's the same type of thing. Like only the top like family members of governments win the prizes and shit like that. It's chosen, I'm sure.
Yeah. Human nature. Inescapable.
But I did meet a guy, and he took me to his house, and his house was in the middle of the rice field, and he showed me like a stack of $5 bills like this that were all wrapped in a rubber band, and he said that he had won it from the lottery. He said his house for 1 year cost $700, so he was like, I've basically won $5,000 on the lottery, and you know that's how I've been living for the past years is off of the lottery.
That is
like
awesome.
$5,000. Like if his house was $700 for the year, then he could probably get away with spending like $2,000 for a year for him and his family for food and everything.
Well, yeah, I like those lotteries, those set for life ones where you get like $1,000 a month for 25 years or something like that. I'd take that one in a heartbeat.
I think it's
Well,
per
no, you're
week.
supposed to take the lump sum.
No, because like there's one specific like where I am, it's a scratch off, and the grand prize it's called Set for Life, and I think the prize is you get $1,000 every month for 25 years. So you know that one sounds pretty good to me, but.
Yeah, but you can live off $1,000. Like I don't think I
I
could live
can't
off
remember if it's
$1,000.
$1,000 or if it's more than that or something like that. Whatever it is, it's like a
Maybe a week. I think it was 1,000 a week.
every month for
I
25.
think it's $1,000 a week. Yeah, so that would be $50,000
Oh,
a
maybe
year.
it is. It might be 1,000 a week. Yeah, you might be right.
And 4,000 is a decent amount of money per
Oh yeah,
month,
4,000 a month. Yeah, like you can live off that easy, at least here.
I mean, you could live in New York off of that. I mean,
Yeah, you might be right. It might be every week instead of every month. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, and that's even more money.
Yeah. All right, Jeremy, you're up next. Let me know when you're ready to begin.
all right, I'm ready.
Cool.
Did you guys know there's 9 types of intelligence in the world?
I didn't.
Sometimes it's really hard. I got to write more on that, so don't worry about it. It's just funny to think that there's 9 types and we barely see one many times. Recently, I found some worms in my poop, and I think that this is God's way of telling me I should go fishing. You guys ever been to the comedy club and they're like 2 drink minimum? What are you drinking? And I was like, oh, I guess I'll have 2 drinks of beer. And then she brings out 2 very expensive bottles of beer, and you're like, no, I just like drink, just take the 2 drinks. So that's all I want is just 2 drinks off of that 1 beer, not 2 beers. Yeah, that's dumb as well. When I started working in Vietnam, the company, they were like, we're going to offer you a bag of dongs. Well, like, I mean, a dong is the name of the money. It's not like a bag of dicks or anything. But dongs does sound a lot girthier. Am I right? So I took the dongs. Yeah. So you guys know that like your status in society depends on the crimes that you can get away with. Like the lady from that television show, Honey Boo Boo, Mama June, I think her name was, the big fat lady. She ate a baby and nobody would ever knew about that. She's, you guys think about the first person to ever domesticate a woman and had to teach her to like, you know, play fetch, which simulates going around the house and picking up items. Teach her how to pee in the shower so we never have to like lift up the toilet seat. But I think the problem with domesticating a woman, the big problem would be like teaching her to eat peanut butter off of weird places on your body. Yeah, so I remember whenever I would visit my grandma's house when I was younger, and she would spend all day making like a homemade pie. Before we could even eat that pie, she would have to run across the street to show her friend Betty. This is before social media. Same time frame. My dad, I remember he would spend all Saturday afternoon fixing the car in the driveway, and then afterwards he'd like vroom, vroom, rev the engine to let his friends know that he had fixed the car and to come down and have a beer. Yeah. All right, that's before social media as well. You guys don't have to laugh at these things. It's all right. my mom taught us how to wear condoms whenever I was younger. And my brother was like 7 years old and I was 16. So first she showed us using like a small gherkin, which is a little small pickle. And second, she used a big, strong zucchini. And she said, if it feels good, then the condom's probably slipped off. She also, so like now I'm 38 years old and I can put a condom on 2-size penises, guys. So going good. After I learned about condoms and learned about sex, I wanted to have a lot of sex. So I began to notice that the girls were keeping track of the number of condoms that you had. Like you buy a new box, you have sex one time. If she comes back 6 months later, there better be 2 condoms in that box or she's going to be pissed. So like I got smart, guys. I began writing names on the boxes. There was like a Sheila. At one point, there was 3 Jennifers. I even fucked a Karen before Karen was a bitch. Yeah, I had a box of Japanese condoms, and these are for like the girls you bring home that you don't want to have sex with. And, you know, like, hey, it doesn't fit. It's too small. So like this girl, she's like, yeah, we can have sex without the condom. So first of all, I was fucked. Second of all, we had sex, so I was fucked. And then about 8.5 months later, she calls me and she says, hey, I just had a baby and I know that it's yours. So what? How do you know? She said, well, first of all, the baby has no hair and he came premature like his father. So how much time I got? A minute? All right, that works. Don't worry about it. So my stepdad, well, he wants me to call him stepdad. His name's Corey. I just call him Corey because Corey's fucking 7 years older than me. There's no way I'm going to call Corey stepdad. Corey sells doors. He sells doors door to door. So like he recently got fired because he's bringing the whole door like up to the door. Just like they gave you miniature doors to put in your briefcase, but like Corey was bringing the whole door. So he got fired. But like when I was young, my dad taught me how to hug a man, and he said, don't. So like I've never hugged a man. But recently when I was back home, Corey caught me masturbating 7 times. And the first time I'm like, dude, shut the door. The 7th time I'm like, hey, uncle, or hey, stepdad. And I gave him a hug. So it was like the first time I hugged a man. And also the first time I hugged a man naked. So like that was kind of weird. I guess to end on this, my grandma has dementia, and it's kind of hard to see her in such a position. You know, she's losing her memory and things. But like one thing that I did get to do with my grandma for the first time was smoke weed with her. She doesn't remember that she didn't smoke weed. So like we were smoking weed, and she's like, "What day is your birthday, Jeremy?" I was like, "Oh, my grandma, my birthday is on the 5th." She said, okay. So like I've been back here in Vietnam for maybe a 1.5 years now. And every 5th, every month, I get a birthday card from my grandma. It's got $5 in it. So I really don't think my grandma's losing her memory at all. It's just, okay, that's all I got. Thanks.
Hey, sweet.
Yeah,
You guys have any feedback?
I like your opener with the 9 types of intelligence. Most of the time, I'm just looking for one, and I don't know if this is intentional or not. But I really liked how I thought it was really funny how you went from 9 types of intelligence straight into worms in your poop. Like that was just
yeah, that contrasted perfectly.
like even if you said something, hey, did you guys know that there's 9 types of intelligence? Speaking of intelligence, I just found some worms in my poop or something like that. Like it's just such an unexpected thing. Like that made me laugh.
Okay, all right.
Like with the 2 drink minimum, I mean, maybe you could call it like the 2. I thought it was a 2 sip minimum or something like that, like a 2 swig minimum. You could just replace words. I liked the came premature joke with the baby just like his father came prematurely. That was a good one. I like the punch with my stepdad taught me how to hug a man. He just told me don't. That was a good one. I like that one. And then this is unrelated. I don't think you can use this at all, but as you were doing your bit, I came up a name for my new condom with the cock extender on it. We can call them dong-dums. There's a little bit of dong inside them. A little bit of extra dong inside your
Extra dong inside them, yeah.
So we'll call them. Well, the four of us will start a business together. We'll call it dong-dums, and we'll all make millions of dollars.
I wrote a joke
Tonight,
before.
everybody's life changes.
I wrote a joke before called eco condoms, where we wash your condoms and we retexture them. We put his lubricants and her lubricants and his, if that's what you're into. And then we resell them back to you. But then like that actually happened here in Vietnam. Like the police busted some hotel operation where they were like washing and repackaging the condoms, and like, what the fuck? I can't even. Everybody in the comedy scene here was sharing the joke, and like you guys are totally ripping off my joke. I know that it really happened, but now you guys are getting all these laughy likes on your fucking Facebook post after a joke that I made, and you guys never originally laughed at my joke.
So
comedy
soup and
scenes.
condoms. What else? What else did they do that with?
Oh yeah, and I just thought is it pretty
Everything.
progressive in Vietnam? Are they pretty accepting of like gay people, or is it?
There's a lot of gay like boys, mainly boys, a lot of gay kids.
It's, of course, they love working there because they get paid in dongs. It's perfect.
But I think that's all of like Asia, like Malaysia. You're not like, I know some comedians that are gay, and you're not allowed to talk about it really. Like you wouldn't come out to your family and tell your family that you're gay. They would just kind of know, like your mom would probably know, but she wouldn't, you wouldn't talk about it because that's not something they accept. It's not acceptable yet. And same here in Vietnam. Like there's a lot of little, I would say majority of them are dudes. There's a lot of gay people, but again, it's kind of not really talked about. But I think it's changed. Like they're kind of where we are with our accepting of gay people in America, but they started. I mean, we started before them. So like they've just accepted some of the things that are happening in the world as this is now. So they skipped over like DVDs and CD players and shit like that, but they got fucking flat screen TVs at their house, and they got like Netflix and shit like that. Big iPhones and things. So like they've skipped over some things, but
Makes sense. Oh yeah, and just jumping back to your one bit where you were talking about the your mom kind of making the pie, and then she has to go like show the pie to her neighbor. That's almost like like a friend like or sharing like a photo or something like that. And then your dad in the car in the driveway is like he's fucking tweeting at the boys. Come on, boys. I thought you could really play with it, like kind of like being old school social media.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a fun.
Yeah. I said the pre-social media days, but I'd go in more to that.
I thought that was a fun take on it.
Well, you could say something like back in those days, social media was actually socializing. It was actually, you were actually interacting with people. So I don't know, there might be something.
I was thinking about.
I think they just didn't want to hang out with me. Like my grandma would run across the street with her friend, and my dad would like invite his friends down, to talk about the car. And I'm like, hey, Dad, what are you guys doing? He said, hold that light steady. So like it wasn't really enjoyable for me. Actually, that's a lie because my dad never fixed any cars. He wasn't around.
We could say it's like social media now. You still hate when your parents do it.
Yeah, he blocked you guys before you could block people. That's how you just had to disappear. I was also gonna say like.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
Ending. Yeah, possible ending for that. It was like murder instead of like blocking somebody. Like, oh yeah, so you couldn't block people, so they just shot him or something. Like.
Yeah, well, it was easier to get away with murder back in those days because there was like no DNA in the system and things like that. So people got away with murder a longer time because they weren't using DNA to track them down.
Yeah, you could get away with like anything if you weren't worried about like murder them and like fuck the hole and then jack off on their body and then roll around.
Yeah, we're at like a
name and
point.
phone number on a piece of paper and you'd still get away with it.
I think we're at a point like today where the only if we didn't have DNA, like people would still be putting it on their Facebook, like, "Hey, I killed somebody last week," or like, "Hey, it's my 1-year reminder of the last time I killed somebody. I better go out and kill somebody." They're like sharing it as a Facebook post, or
It's
Facebook's
in
reminding them, "Hey, you remember this time last year you killed somebody." Your most
Yeah,
liked
that's the next
post of the year.
TikTok challenge. It's just gonna be murder.
It's just murder. All right, some good feedback, guys. Thanks.
Cool.
And I also enjoyed
Okay.
when you're talking about the door-to-door salesman and your stepfather. I felt like there was like something there, like towards the end that, like, I don't know. There's a lot to work with there. I thought I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head, but I liked it. Door salesman. I just felt like there's a lot you could kind of explore there.
Mm-hmm.
Door-to-door salesman. Oh yeah, it just reminded me of an old joke that I forgot until just now. Do you guys have any more feedback?
That's all I got.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all.
All right, I guess it's my turn now to do some jokes. Okay, you just reminded me of this joke, so I'm gonna do it. I feel like being a salesman seems like it's pretty hard, but I feel like there should be a test for every salesman, like before you become one. Like they should make you knock on somebody's door at like 4 a.m. and try to sell them a briefcase full of cum. Because I'm just picturing, like, you know how mad you'd be, like, they're fucking rubbing the sleep out of there. They just open the door, you're like, "Hey, God is dead. It's time to dip yourself in cum and eat your family." And they're like, "I'll take 12. You ever think you felt your phone vibrating in your pocket, and then you reached in your pocket and your phone wasn't there, and you look back on the ground and there's a guy having a seizure, and you're like, "Oh, goddamn, these epileptic pickpockets." I don't know why, but I've always wanted, like, it's been a goal of mine to one day be able to jump out of a wooden scorpion with a dagger between my teeth. But because of deforestation, that dream is looking less and less likely every day. Save the rainforest. So, why didn't they just smoke the Grinch? I've never seen anybody be so obviously made of weed. Smoke the Grinch. Yeah, pears are pretty nasty. I don't like pears. Pears are disgusting. The only way I'd ever voluntarily eat a pear is if I threw it at somebody and killed them. I need to get rid of the evidence.
DNA.
I don't know. Like, I'm really bad with technology sometimes, and I can't work my phone alarm. So what I've been doing is I've just been hiring a guy to kidnap a kid every morning, and then I get woken up by the Amber Alert. Then you can let him go. I'm like, all right, I'm up. You can release them. Does the pronoun they also apply to conjoined twins? I feel like that's who it's made for, right? Conjoined twins. If one conjoined twin commits a crime, do they both go to jail?
Ooh.
Because, like, what if the other
That
one
would
wasn't
suck.
like, oh no, I was asleep. What the hell? Like, if you get the electric chair. All right. Yeah, I think that's all the jokes I want to work on today. You guys have any feedback?
You know what? I like pretty much all of your jokes there. There's some good stuff. Like the last one, the conjoined one. I just got an image of, like, say one conjoined twin is like got a gun pointed at, like, a 7-Eleven clerk or something, and then the police come in, and the other conjoined twin like just immediately pretends he's asleep, like, "Oh, nice try, nice try."
Yeah, and they're blaming each other. He did it. No, he did it.
Oh, yeah, nice try, pal. You know, like I don't know. It's silly and dumb, but you know, I just got that image. So
you couldn't knock your conjoined twin over the head with something, because then like you'd have to drag all that weight. Like
exactly, like you'd at least need to be an accessory. Like if you've got to walk together, you gotta, you know.
What if they're a hostage? What if you have them at gunpoint? You got like
oh shit, you got your conjoined twin at gunpoint. That's fucking good.
That's an interesting. You know, yeah, one
What
twin.
if they
the
call
twin
the
dead.
cops on you because they're like, he's controlling the body. He's trying to rob this liquor store. I have no part in this, but I can't move anything except my vocal cords and lips and my hand with the phone.
And then the one twin's like, "You can't shoot me, or you'll never get away."
And so what happens if they send one of them to jail, you know, and they decide, well, you know, this one is guilty and that one is innocent. So how do they execute that? Like, you know, they just put it right by the door of the cell. And so the conjoined twin is sort of like on the outside and the other one's on inside the cell getting.
Oh, I seen a Facebook meme that was like this, and it was like, one conjoined twin is like kissing his boyfriend, and the other conjoined twin is straight, but they share the same asshole.
Not straight all the time.
And now I just got reminded of that really stupid Family Guy bit where like Andy Garcia has like a little twin coming out of his shoulder. And he's like on a date, and he's like, "Oh, you want to go into the bedroom?" And hey, and shoulder guy's along for the ride. It's so stupid.
You know, I thought, what if like he's sentenced to death and it's like the guillotine, but they like kind of roll at the last second and it cuts them in half, and then they're like, "That was the surgery we couldn't afford in the U.S." and they both run away.
But they're hopping away because they only both got one leg.
Oh yeah, that's why they're pro fucking 3-leg. I don't know.
Sorry, you just made me remember something I forgot to say. You ever have one of those toy lightsabers as a kid? Like the
I didn't, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind then.
There's a guy, I don't know his name, but you can find it. It's like in the Guinness Book of World Records or something. And he had a face like on the back of his head. And the doctors, the face couldn't move or anything like that. But the guy said that he would hear the face like whispering to him and shit when he was sleeping. And so he killed himself. But like they got like the actual dude's skull, or, you know, like maybe it's Ripley's Believe It or Not or something like that. But they got the dude's skull and you could see that there's like an actual face on the back. I'll see if I can find it.
That is so cool. It's like Voldemort.
Because if all you are is a face and nobody can hear you, like what else can you do? Then just fuck with your brother there. Just mess with his head.
That'd be terrible if you were like the greatest poet of all time or something. You were just a face on the back of a head and you're just whispering these beautiful poems that no one else will be able to hear.
Yeah, and the other side of your head is getting all the credit for it.
His name is Edward Mordrake.
Yeah, what if that's the secret? Like everybody successful has a conjoined twin instead of like just.
Well, they say that you killed your twin on the inside.
Yeah, and you eat them, and then you get their juicy stem cells.
Here's an article if you guys want to read about the Mordrake. This is a hoax, but I don't know. It looks cool.
Oh man, really? I don't want to read it then. I was hoping it was real. You guys have any more feedback?
No, I loved most of the jokes he had. They were pretty solid. I liked Epileptic Pickle, the Scorpion one, and the pears. Those just got me really good.
Yeah, the pickpocket thing, that was funny. Like, the fuck?
Yeah, that's a nice wordplay at the end. The epileptic pickpocket. I love that fucking phrase at the end. It's a nice pop.
Okay, well, thanks. I guess this brings us to the end of another workshop. This is the part where if you have anything to plug, any social media or anything, this is where you do it. Jordan, do you have anything?
Nope.
Awesome. Jeremy?
I'm in that same nope boat. I don't have anything either.
All right. Mark?
Yeah, not so much for live shows. We're locked down where I am, but if anyone's interested or I'm available for Zoom shows, I got a little Zoom studio set up, so reach out. I'm more than willing to, do a set whenever you guys have a show going on or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know you could say that. Yeah, I'll throw my head in that ring too. I'm available for Zoom shows, so yeah, go ahead.
That's very reassuring. Oh, man, that's fun. Well,
Nobody showed a way to contact. Nobody gave away contact information. It was just find me. You want to do a show?
Figure it out.
It's your problem. Just find me.